Gun fam, what's up? It's the Gun Brother. Thanks for tuning in. Check this story out.
WWL TV obtained this video shot by an eyewitness. The witness was in the 200 block of Loyola Avenue Saturday evening. Across the street, you can see individuals walk towards the New Orleans main library. You can tell it's broad daylight and a busy intersection in front of a bus stop. The witness claims to see the man in dark clothing hit the woman.
Oh, he hit her now. Oh,
The man appears to be running from a female guard. He picks something up and throws it at her. The guard then draws her gun and fires back 7 shots. She then runs and fires 4 more times.
Wow.
Shortly after, the video ends.
Just because he hit her?
Couple of things we had to deal with when we talk about this event. Number one, as security officers, armed security officers, or anybody that's armed, period, we have a line that has to be crossed or in place for deadly force to be authorized. And that is, you or someone else is in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death. That is pretty much the rule across the board. If you read your local laws, deadly force is only going to be authorized, and there's going to be some version of that. You or someone else is in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death. The problem with that is that window can open and close very quickly. That line can be crossed and then disappear very quickly. It's a very fine line for when you are in that specific situation. And that's what happened in this event. The officer did have a window of being in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death, but it was very quickly, and by the time she started shooting, that window had already closed. So they had the altercation on the inside. Allegedly, the guy threw his cell phone at her. They show them chasing him out of the building. So that's another issue that we have to deal with as far as officers, and this is going to depend on your state. That's why you have to know and be very familiar with it. What is your jurisdiction? Where does it start? When does it end? Several jurisdictions or several places that I teach, I know running out of the building is not going to be accepted, much less shooting someone that's off the property. And that is probably why she stopped at the curb, because I suspect that may have been the end of her jurisdiction as far as she could go. So the event happened on the inside. They chase him outside, and then he picks up a brick. A brick, by most reasonable beliefs or reasonable views, can cause serious bodily harm. Obviously, if he throws a brick, hits her in the head, it could knock her out. That would render her helpless. That's considered serious bodily harm. It could crack her skull, break a bone. That would be considered serious bodily injury. And so there was a window that deadly force may have been authorized to prevent him from using that level of force against her. Once he released the brick and turned around and ran, she was no longer in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death, and neither was anyone else. So, as hard as it seems to believe, or hard as it seems to take that, those shots are going to be unauthorized. That's pretty much not a good shoot. What I must commend her on, though, is hitting him 7 out of 11 times with a .40 caliber firearm. I would assume it's probably a Glock 23 or 22 full size. That's pretty good marksmanship on a moving target while she was moving. She didn't even stay stationary. So I kind of have to give her that. But then after you watch the videos, that first volley of 7 rounds at the individual, like we said, she's already not in imminent danger of serious bodily harm anymore. And we have to be able to not cross that line. We have to stop ourselves and deal with the situation as it is. But then she kind of steps to the side and shoots 4 more rounds. And that clearly, that's a bad situation, okay? So as officers, you have to look at the situation. It's a very difficult thing to do. You really have to train yourself to be able to de-escalate, understand that you're not in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death anymore, and then handle the situation as it may come. A lot of situations, even with active shooters, if the active shooter surrenders, I can't shoot him for having shot someone 5 minutes ago. If he puts the gun down and surrenders, I'm no longer in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death. neither is he. But emotionally, I want to shoot him for all the people he just shot. And again, that's a fictional scenario, but it has happened. They surrender. If the officer shoots at that time, officer's gonna be wrong. If you are a civilian, same thing applies. If you are not in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death, the use of deadly force is not gonna be authorized. You can't, there have been so many road rage videos of people just shooting at the wrong time. They're not in imminent danger of serious bodily harm or death, but they know they have their gun with them. So that should be the last thing you wanna do. Avoid the situation, get away from the situation if you can. When we talk about avoidance, avoidance usually starts way before the event gets to the point where you feel like you couldn't get out of it. Way before it. Don't even have the argument. Don't even have the discussion. Don't even get confronted. If you see the confrontation, come and leave. Those are situations, I've watched a lot of those videos, and there's a point where the person could have just left. And again, unless you train yourself to do that, sometimes it's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy emotionally. You may feel disrespected. You may feel like someone got one over on you. And I promise you, I've had a few situations like that over the past couple of years, and I just let it be over with. It takes two. And if I had continued, I may have had to use deadly force to protect myself, or that person may have used deadly force against me, and one of us would have been right, one of us would have been wrong. But I promise you, life is different after that event. So I'd rather just avoid it altogether. Even though I had my firearm on me at the time and was ready to protect myself, the situation just didn't have to happen. So with that being said, you guys chime in the comments. Let me know what you think. I love answering them from a training point of view, and even from a civilian point of view, because I do carry my firearm as a civilian. I am not law enforcement or former law enforcement. So my concealed carry is as a civilian, just as you. So I'm subject to the same laws. I'm subject to the same rules, okay? With that being said, the Gun Brothers out. I will talk to you guys soon.